Own WGN News.
The ban on TikTok is set to take effect Sunday if the Chinese company which owns it, ByteDance, doesn't sell its U.S. assets. And they said they won't do that. President Biden and members of Congress say it presents a national security threat. So other companies are now ready to fill that void, and they're ones you might not have heard of, but they're also owned by China-based companies. And V.S. Subramanian, a professor of computer science at Northwestern School of Engineering, is joining us now to discuss. Professor, thank you. So TikTok has 170 million users. I want to know what happens to their profiles, to their experiences after Sunday when the ban, if it takes effect, takes effect.
You know, Ray, I suspect that their profiles are still going to be on TikTok for a while. It'll take some time for the TikTok servers to shut down connections with phones and other devices that people have the TikTok apps on in the United States. So it's going to take some time to implement the ban.
But I mean, will people still be able to, I know when you go to the App Store for an update, that won't work. But what about like posting and interacting with other users?
I think it depends, Ray, on exactly how the ban is implemented. We don't have much information on that yet. For example, you can think of the connection between your phone when you try to download something or upload something. There's implicitly, you can think of it as a pipe between your device and TikTok servers somewhere. We don't yet know the details of how this pipe is going to be blocked and who's responsible for that. Is it the user, the consumer who's got TikTok on his or her phone? Is it ByteDance, the company that operates TikTok? Or are other parties involved, such as internet service providers, communication providers? We don't know how this is going to play out.
I guess
many of them could help enforce the ban.
We'll see here, right? But in the meantime, we have other platforms that are going to be picking up the slack. In fact, I want to point to one. RedNote is, I guess as of yesterday, it was the #1 downloaded app. Tell us about that, because that one and another one we're going to discuss really people aren't familiar with, I think.
I think most people in the United States are not familiar with RedNote, but it's really been around for several years under the name Xiaohongshu, I hope I'm saying that right, in China, and has been used by hundreds of millions of Chinese citizens for years.
Okay, so that's one. The other one is Lemon8, which is not far behind. That one, though, confusingly enough, is also owned by ByteDance. What about that one, and do you think that is going to face a similar ban at some point down the road?
I think the security risks posed by TikTok are not substantively different than those posed in the future by both RedNote as well as Lemon8. So as a consequence, I would be, if either of those take off in terms of downloads and uses in the US, I would expect those to have similar bans enacted upon them in the not too distant future.
But I guess it would take a while before it would get critical mass and develop the popularity that TikTok has. Let me get your take on this. What is your opinion on the necessity of the ban? The White House, the Biden administration says it poses a real threat because of the possibility of the Chinese government spying through TikTok. What was your read on that when that first came out?
Well, Ray, this has been a concern for many years, and I think the administration does have it right. Think about your phone. It's got a tremendous amount of personal information about you. And that's the way people think about their phones. They say, oh, my phone has all my contacts and information about them. It has photos that may involve me and many other people in all kinds of locations. It's got a camera that could, unbeknownst to me, take pictures of things. It has a microphone that can listen to things I say and more. And all of these can also listen to what other people say. So when you have an app running on your phone, it may have permissions that allow it to access many of these things that are on your phone. But guess what? That's not just about your phone and you personally. As soon as a device has access to your phone, it can upload a malicious update to that app. So even if your app is benign today, there's the potential that it could be made malicious tomorrow, and use those contacts, use those cameras to listen to what you're talking about with others, to send malicious messages to infect others, and much more. So that is the nature of the threat. And, think about it, Ray, there's 6 degrees of separation. Most of us are connected to other people in the country by just a few links. And so if you sort of end up with your phone, which is perhaps using TikTok, that could be used as a vector to compromise the phone of someone else who is
Limitless
not using
context. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so we're going to have to leave it there, but we're really glad that you checked in and let us know what you're thinking about this. Professor V.S. Subramanian, thanks again.
Thank you, Ray.
All right, take care.
Pleasure.